Well, welcome to Cord Arts. Today I want to try and make something like this. It hasn't got a name up till date. I've had lots of people give me their suggestions. All had my name in it, or a lot of them had my name in it. Fishlock knot and things like that. But I like the idea of one that I've made up myself actually. And it's to go with my wizard's welcome over here. I'd like to call it a wizard's fist, because basically it's a monkey's fist turned into something else. So how do we make this? Let's go through a few bits and pieces. As you see, I've made an egg-shaped one, and I've made a couple of extra ones as well as I've gone along. Now, I will say that none of these are perfect. The idea is that you have under, over, under and over, and you can see that in the main there, it's under and over and under and over all the way around. But there is a place on here, because of the maths, you end up, I can't find it at the moment, perhaps this is an exception to the rule, but you end up with over 2. Let me see if I can find it on one of these eggs to point out what we've actually gone. Nope, having problems here finding. Here we go. Now, can you see just here? Because of the maths, this hasn't turned out quite right. We've got the pinks going over 2 and then under 1 back the other way. So I don't know why that is. I think it's because of the size of ball and the thickness of cord. When I've done something like this before on a cube, I started off with an inch cube, but had to sort of bias it to an 1 1/8 cube to get it to work properly. And I think this is the same sort of situation. There isn't enough ball to put the amount of cord I want on. But we're going to have a go anyway. So what do we need for this wizard's fist? We need a polystyrene ball, or a ball of this size. Now it's 60mm across, which is 2 1/4 inches across. So the diameter is 60 or 2 1/4 inches. What we need to work with that is a rig, or a jig, shall I say. And for anybody who's watched my videos in the past, you know that I make my own jig, and all it is 2 pieces of wood. I've got a tutorial on how to make this, but basically it's just a load of holes that I can stick 4 chopsticks into the holes. I mean, I know which holes I've got to put these in, but if it was a smaller sized ball, then it would go down smaller. So that's that. Now you might think that the 60mm ball looks a little bit odd. That's because I've covered it in painter's tape. Now I always do that, because if I need to put some glue onto anything, the polystyrene would disintegrate. So just as a point of effort, I actually cover all the balls and eggs that I make, I cover in tape. So we just slot that one down inside the side like so. We'll just locate that on there, see if we can get it into the right holes. Yeah, I think I can see them. Right, so there we are. We've got our ball inside of there, yeah. So that's good. Just as it's a monkey's fist contraption, or a jig, yeah. So you can use your monkey's fist jig for this. Gonna need quite a few, no, sorry, you're not going to need quite a few. This is for another project, pins. But we will need a few pins to actually achieve this. Now what we need cord wise is 3 colours. Now all of these 3 pieces of cord have had the innards taken out, so they're actually cordless, if you like, or gutless. And then what I've done is, so they're 6 feet long. 5 feet will suffice, but I wanted to do 6 feet on this video just in case things went wrong. So we got black, orange and yellow, yeah, and some pins. So let's start this. I think we'll start off with the yellow. We're going to put yellow, that piece of yellow, onto a fid. Or are we? There's no need for the first. No, there's no need for the first. Well, I will put it on, but there's no need for a fid on the first, on the yellow, or the first one. So what we're going to do now is we're going to, I know that I've got about a foot too much cord here, so I'm going to give myself plenty of spare to begin with, because it just might happen that I might have to use that bit of spare later. So I'm going round 3 times, keeping any twist out of the cord. With me tying that tight round there now, it's grabbing the egg. Yeah. So we got 3, like so. I'll do a 4th. So we've got 4 going round. We're going to now use a pin to hold it together. Got 1 pin there. This is where I started, just here. The pin is going to go up through, those 4 to keep them together. Now the only problem with using pins is, although they go into things, they also come out of things. So about the only danger on this project is you get stuck with a pin, which I'm inevitably going to get stuck with a pin, but that allows me to do that. Now as you can see, I've now got 4 at the front. I want an even number at the front and an odd number at the back. So if we carry on, I want to actually achieve 8 and 7. So 8 at the front and 7 at the back. So if we keep going, twisting the tool or the jig rather than the cord, and we can keep all the, just pull that over that pin now. By rotating the jig, you get rid of all the twist, or you don't have so much twist. Never get rid of all the twist, or rarely. Keep going at that. There's going to be times when I just jump to a next stage, because you don't want me weaving under over forever and a day. So I will be jumping to some degree. Right, so how many have we got there now? We've got 2, 4, 6, 7. If I bring that back around the front one more time, that's 8. If we go to the back, how many have we got on the back? 2, 4, 6, 7. So we don't really want any more. I'm going to change things. I'm going to have 9 at the front and 8 at the back. I think, yeah. So that will be the 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is the back of the piece. We come back round to the front. Now having in mind that's where we started, just there. At the moment we've got 2, 4, 6, 8. But if I take that one across, it becomes a 9th. Another pin. I'm going to take that, I'm going to secure that last one on that corner. Bear with me. Right, fit off. So we've started here, we've gone round a complete 9 times here, but only having 8 on the back. So that gives us an odd number, front and back. Now top and bottom, I'm hoping is going to have probably even numbers. Even numbers, maybe. Let me think about this as we go along. The idea of having odd numbers around the ball is because if you start with an over and then an under, you need an odd number to come back right the way round and be the opposite. You don't want to be putting two over, you want to be putting 1 over, and the next one that comes round go an under. But we'll get to that. So I think probably the black one next. Let's just put that black one onto a fid, because we will need to use a fid on this one. This is where it becomes a bit fiddly. Right, so we got a fid on the end of the black cord. Again, I know that I've got plenty of cord, so I'm not going to be sort of starting right at the very end. I'm going to be starting a good 4 or 5 inches in. Now, on a normal monkey's fist, that cord there, which we've secured over there, would have gone backwards. It would have come round this bar and backwards. So we're going to emulate that by starting just there with yet another pin, down like so. We're going to go over to the back without any twists. Get hold of that right. It's essential to actually keep the twist out of that. That's good enough. Right, so we've just come to the back now. Now the back has only, as we know, got 8 cords going across. Yeah, we're going to start with an over. So we're going to go over that back one, under the next, over, and then the bottom one is going to be under. Yeah, we take that through. We pull in most of the slack. Now there's going to be a huge twist there, so what we're going to do is take a bit of time, flatten this cord out with a bit of spare, so that, and I'm grabbing hold of the bottom of the ball with my finger on top of that cord. As you see, as we pull, there's going to be a twist. Can you see that there's a twist there now? We want to get rid of that. By me sorting out this cord before and holding it onto the ball, I can now hopefully pull that and have it without any twisting. Yeah. Now, because I was under that one, I ended up with under at the top. The next one where I go, when I come to the back, like so, I want to go over. Yeah. So at the back, sorry, at the front, we've come forward to the front now. This is the side we've got 9 on. The other side was 8. So we was under the top one on the opposite side. So we're going to go over this one. Have to keep checking on your pins because they do come out. We've gone over, under, over and under. Yeah, throw it through to the back for the next one. Take up the most of the slack. I can see that there's going to be a bit of a twist there, so I'm going to manipulate these cords again. So I've got plenty of slack underneath. I'm holding the ball with the black cord. We pull it through. And I think we've managed to get it into the position I want it. Yeah. So we're back over to the back. That was the front. Made a mistake there. Can you see I've gone under two? Need to go back and undo that. Schoolboy error. I'm prone to that. So if I come back under those two, we can get back online. Right. So we're travelling up the front again. So this time we'll get it right. So it's over, under, over, under, and over. Yeah. Chuck it through to the back. See if we can get it through without any twist. So we'll maneuver that one. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing there. I've got a nice loop. It's all square underneath. Pull this one. I can see the twist there, but by keeping some pressure on this thumb here, I can make that twist go away. Yeah. So back around to the back again. Now this time, we was over the top of that top cord. Now we're going to come underneath. I can't say how critical it is to keep the twist out as much as possible. Now once I've start getting the gist of this, I tend to start pulling things around. Again, don't want any twist. Get a nice piece of spare cord, line it up so it's not going to twist. Let the twist happen before my thumb, and then as we pull it through, no twist. Yeah. Then I'll work that one over with my fingernails. Pull the bit of slack up. Not too much, there's no need to go mad over tension. You can actually see what's happening now, yeah? So that was the back. We're back round to the front now. Believe it or not. That's where we started everything, just here. So we've come under. Get my fid. Got to go obviously under the first one. Now what I'm going to do now is actually show you this last bit, and then I'm going to carry on until I've got a good 7 or 8. I haven't decided yet on both sides. Yeah. Now the reason, well, I've already mentioned why I try and get the odd numbers so that I don't get too many rows going 2 over rather than just 1 over. I've yet to achieve a perfect ball yet, but I'm sure someone will. When I get over to this side as far as I want to, I'll come back and tell you how many times I've gone round. Okay, back with your shirt soon. Welcome back. So we started here. Yeah, we went over the back. We went underneath, going under, over to the bottom, come round under the bottom and started all over again. Now, this is where I'm trying to sort the maths out. I've gone across there 7 times. And I've also gone across the back 8 times, i.e. as I've come up this last one on 7, I've gone over the top. I could have stopped at the top here and that would have been 7 each, but I want 8 on the back. The reason I want 8 on the back is these top chords, bottom and top. I wanted them to be an odd number as well. What that actually does is gives you there's 8 on the top and 7 on the bottom, or vice versa. I can't remember which. I can count them. 3, 6. So there's 8 on the top and there's 7 underneath. Gives us an odd number. These are even numbers. Yeah. So when we start our next piece of chord, which will be here, one go all the way round on all these chords. All these chords make up top and bottom and side to side, make an odd number. So I'm going to take that fid off of there. We can cut that a little bit short now because it's going to get in our way. Take the fid off that one. Now I will put another pin where we've gone round and round and from front to back, front to back, front to back, and we've ended up at the back, at the bottom. I'm going to put a pin in there. Yeah. Just to stop that black one going anywhere. Because we will be pulling this about a bit now. Now the last go round was weaving at the front, weaving at the back, no weaving at the top. When we do this side, going through that way, we'll be weaving every single chord. So let's find the chord, the orange chord that we got left. We'll find a suitable end, put the fid on. That looks good. Looks good, isn't? Right. So what I want to do now, get up a bit closer. That's where we started down the bottom, all the way around, back to side, like that. That's where we started with the second one, back over to the back and round underneath to the front. It's given us odd number of chords all the way around here, odd number of chords. It doesn't matter that we've got 7 on the front and 8 on the back. And it doesn't matter that we've got equal on the sides. This number, which is even, but the bottom is odd. That should make things right, but I'm pretty sure that's what I did last time and didn't quite work. So we're going to start up on this corner, top right hand corner. Now you've got to look at where we're going with this. Now this yellow cord goes underneath that one, so I'm going to start over the top of that one. Yeah, so yeah, I'm going to just start underneath, over the top of that one and start weaving. Now this does become a little bit tiresome trying to get through like so, and we got, make sure that we're getting hold of the right chords. It's easy to go wrong. Right, so we've gone under and over all the way from there. We'll bring the slack through. This is just an odd one here. We're not worried about that one at the moment. We might be later, but not at the moment. So we're going to leave enough to again put a pin in that top right hand corner. Down like so, just to restrict the orange one's movement. Yeah. We make sure we haven't got any twist in that. And if you look from the front now, you can see that we're trying to carry on the pattern over the top. Right, so let's go to the other side now. We started this side, we've come round to this side. Now we've got to pay attention to where the other cords are. So that black one at the bottom is over, so I'm going to put an under. I don't know if that'll work out. I'm hoping it will. So we're going to go under, over, like so. Now we can't chuck it through because we've got to do all these in a minute. But what we can do is try and get it as neat as we can without getting into a tangle. Right. So let's get a nice piece of cord, loop it underneath, get it nice and straight so that this one is going to come and pull through nice and square, like so. So that one's gone over the top of that one, which is good. Now this is where it goes wrong. As you can see, I'm coming up here and I'm going over the top one. But it looks as though I've got to go over the next one as well to keep the pattern going. So what I can do to stop that problem, I can actually take that one round to there. Can you see it? That's why I left these long. I can take that one round to there now, pin it. I said we wouldn't need very many pins, but we do. So that is in there. This is becoming really dangerous now. There's pins all over the place. But by doing that, I can now go under that one. Sorry, over that one and under that one. But what I'm aware of now is that because I've added that, it's going to make all of the whole number even. So I've got to add another chord somewhere to bring it back to odd, if that makes sense. This is me rationalizing the maths as we're going along. Right, so we're through there. Now the next one is to keep the pattern going around there is over, under, over, under, and over. Right, let's take that one through first. Lots of things to get caught up on at the moment with needles. All right, I'm going to make sure that we've got this one nice and square. Pull that through. Now we've got to twist. I've got to twist. That's that twist out. Right, no need for any real tension at the moment, but let's quantify up this corner now. We've just come over the top of the black one. I can see that the black goes over the top of the yellow on this corner, so if I just go round to the side, I can in fact go under now. That's not really helping me because, let's have a look. I'll explain as we go. So we're going to go over the top of that one. Like so. It is a slow process. There's no speedy on this one. Right. What I'm interested to find out is if I was to add another yellow, i.e. that one round there, so that we got even numbers again, would the pattern work out at the bottom? Now at the moment I've come underneath that one and I've already been over the top of that one, so yes, it would work. So if I bring that one round to there, and pin that one, see, what I'm trying to do is make sure that that's an even number, that's an odd number, even number, and even number on top, so that all of those chords add up to an odd number of chords. Now I think I've actually got it this time. So if I now go over that one, which I've just put over to there, put a pin in there, didn't I? So if I go over that one, I can afford then to go under the next one, which keeps the pattern. Right, it gets a bit awkward now. I'm going to have to come out and manipulate. So we need to go under that one somehow. The last black one we need to get under. Not easy. That's better. So we've come under the black one. Now by extending that over there and making that 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, and extending this one over here, making that 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, having an odd number on one of the top or bottom gives me an odd number all the way around. So I'm very hopeful that this might be the first one that I've actually got all the pattern where it should be. I'm going to carry on now as I did before, going round and round and round, sort of weaving up and over all of these, and I'll come back to you when I get round to the end, and then we'll start thinking about how to tighten it up. Okay, so there we are. The orange was started here and it's gone. Having in mind that this is the, where's the front? There's the front. No, got it wrong. Well, that's certainly the sides. I mean, yeah, I've lost my bearings a little bit there, but what we've got there is, say, the front, the top, and then the sides. Now the orange has gone over, round and round. I've gone around it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. It goes 7 times over there, 7 times over the top, 7 times and 7 times back round. So that is the actual tying. Yeah. Now we've got lots of pins in there and we've got to take them out. So if we take the project out of the jig, slide it out, and then we'll take the pins out. It's a good job to count up how many pins you've put in, because it can be a bit painful if you miss one. There's 2. So we've done that corner. This corner, I don't see any. This one's got one there. And this one has got, I believe, 2 just here. Right. So now we can actually try and tighten this up. Now I'm going to tighten the yellows first. And I can see that we got an end here. It's quite easy to actually tighten up. We obviously don't want to lose this end down into the knot. So if we double it over, see where the loop goes to, and just pull that through. Now I found that you need to probably go through this twice, but that's tight there. Just trying to get the cords to go around into the more or less the right places. Might need a little bit of finishing off in the end with a fid and an end of a cord, but we'll see. It's no good pulling these too tight because we've got to do all the other colours yet, haven't we? It does smarten up. Right, I'm going to carry on tightening those yellows up to the top and I'll come back to you. So as we close on doing the yellow, you can see it's starting to take shape now. And the fact that we didn't get any twist in these cords is why we're having so little struggle in tightening. If there was all sorts of twist in there, we wouldn't get away with this so easy. Yeah, that can stay out the way. I'm thinking to myself at the moment I could have done with more blacks. Good that side. Not quite enough there for some reason. I don't know. We're getting there though. So that is the yellows tightened for the first time. Yeah. Now I'm going to tighten the blacks. Exactly the same thing. Find an end. Double it over so it can't go anywhere. And then start pulling through. And I do tend to use my pliers to start things off. Get a little bit of slack going. Yeah. Get down to this end. That's good. So I'll come back to you when I've finished tightening the blacks up. Bit wonky there. Right, we're coming up to the end of tightening the blacks for the first time. So, as I say, I'm using these snipe nose pliers because it saves on the fingers and you can get a bit more tension on them. Yeah. It's not going too bad. It's not the best one I've ever done. I suppose it's the pressure of trying to film it at the same time. And there's the black one. Right, so I've just got to do this orange one. I called it pink earlier on, it's orange. So I've found an end. So what I'll do now is just tighten around and come back to you. Well, there we are. I didn't tighten it a second time, it didn't need it. But it's not too bad. It's not the best one I've done. As I say, being on video doesn't help. But all the patterns on this one actually all join up. Yeah. So I'm quite pleased with that one. So I'm going to call this one the Wizard's Fist. I hope you come back and see some more of this on Cord Art. All the best. Cheers.